Wow, a Lego Lamborghini. But the color's a little weird. I wonder if I could draw a car that looks cooler. Lego, drawing, take one. Oh god, it looks like a 2-year-old drew this. On second thought, I'll just repaint what I have. Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinkertown. Today I'm going to show you how I repainted this Lego Technic Huracan from a boring flat green to a glossy purple and metallic blue. Originally, I tried to repaint with clear orange and silver acrylic paints shown here, with the Citadel white primer for backing. Unfortunately, the result did not turn out very well. My brushing skills left many brush marks on the Lego, and the silver did not blend into the orange for a metallic look like I had hoped. The paint also presented as very flat and non-glossy. The paint also peeled very easily from the model. I decided to switch to enamel-based paints from Testors, specifically their metallic blue and purple flake colors, to get a much glossier, durable coat. You can see here my first attempt to paint some blue and purple pieces. In both cases, I made the mistake of not thinning the paint and having poor brush skills, leading to an inconsistent and textured look. I decided to pick up an airbrush to hopefully get better results. To start, I masked off regions to prevent paint overspray. It's important in this step to take your time and make sure everything you don't want painted gets covered, while keeping your desired paint spots clear. For finer details, I'd suggest using a hobby knife to cut away the tape. After masking, I prepared the paint for airbrushing by pouring the 1/4 ounce Testors paint jar into a larger 3/4 ounce jar. Then, I added the same amount of oil paint thinner to the jar, stirred it, and added it to the main paint jar to achieve a 1-to-1 mixture. To stir the paint, I used my drill in combination with the 3D printed part that I found on Printables. You can download it at the page shown here. The paint is now ready for airbrushing. I'm painting the secondary accent colors of the Lego car first. To spray paint these toxic enamel paints inside, I'm painting with my own paint booth that I created with some cheap household materials and 3D printed parts. If you want to make one yourself, check out my other video below. Since I painted on top of my previous paint to save some time, there are some bumps remaining, which would be fixed by starting from a clear surface.
One eternity later.
As you can see, I'm getting a nice metallic blue with a heavy gloss effect. After finishing the secondary parts, I'm now ready to start painting the primary body of the car with the Testors purple metal flake paint. I'm following the same procedure as with the blue paint. After thinning the paint, you can see there's still a lot of chunks left behind in the bottle. After thinning and testing multiple times, this paint would not mix evenly and resulted in this pebbled accumulation on the model. This is a known issue with Testors enamel paints, so I decided to throw it out and find another brand. I tried a new paint from Humbrol. I found a flat purple enamel paint from a local store. Although it was so old I was worried it might contain lead in it. But, as of now, I'm still kicking. I used the same thinner and followed the same steps I took previously to prepare the paint for airbrushing. After thinning and mixing the paint, you can see the paint is now one homogeneous mixture with a skim milk type consistency, which is a common benchmark for airbrushing paints. With the paint prepared, I started painting the model. The paint is applying very nicely and presenting a decent gloss finish, although there are still some bumps and particulates settling in the paint that I believe came from the rags I was using. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how the paint is coming along. You can see here that I had to apply a thicker coat since the tester's paint left some residue behind, leaving unpainted spots on the hood. Here, I made sure to paint any pieces I had separated from the car. At this point, I went back to touch up any spots that I had missed from the first sweep. Finally, I repainted the roof supports that had peeled previously. Here's the finished product immediately after painting, although curing time for enamels typically takes days. It certainly isn't perfect, but I think that the color looks pretty cool. For my first time airbrushing, I think it's not too bad. After letting the enamel paint cure overnight, I then decided to do a couple coats of acrylic gloss varnish to further bring out the shine. Now that the paint is cured and the varnish has been applied, we can finally take the tape off and see how it looks. I put the secondary color pieces on now, and I think the results look pretty cool. There are some orange parts still visible that I might touch up in the future, but I think from most angles, it's not the end of the world. With the LED lights on, things really start to liven up. I put white and yellow LEDs in the headlights, as well as an ice blue LED strip underneath the car to give it that blue underglow effect. I put this comparison together just to show the before and after. To power it, I managed to fit the electronics and a 1200 mAh battery inside the drive compartment. I also added red taillights by cutting out slots in the Lego pieces, although you may need to squint if you'd like to see them level. And that's the end of part 1 of painting my Lego RC car. Stay tuned for part 2, where I show you how I made this RC car fully drivable at speeds above 35 kilometers per hour or 22 miles per hour. Make sure you also like and subscribe to help grow the channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it, please subscribe to the channel, and help me get this channel off the ground so I can keep making some awesome videos. I got some really cool ideas that you're not going to want to miss. See you in the next one.